Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. So getting to the next level is all about notching up. It doesn't mean you have to go make $100,000 tomorrow. It doesn't mean you need to go and be a millionaire before the year's up. All it means is notching up. Whatever level that you're at right now in your life, just know there's another notch up. Whether you've got knocked down a couple notches or you've hit a new level. Level up no matter where you are. And that's the whole point of the next level. Now, it is the antithesis of complacency. Complacency is disgusting. Complacency, there's no room for it in life. It's a terrible habit. We, for lack of a better term, rest on our laurels. I don't even like the way that sounds, but it is what we naturally do as human beings. We end up resting and saying, let me just coast here. Once we hit a new height, all of a sudden we want to just chill and relax. And I think that that's the wrong attitude to have, because if something happens and blindsides you, where did that mediocrity get you? It didn't get you to the next level, actually. You're stuck. So to get unstuck, we really want to drive it home, okay, ladies and gentlemen? Like, this is really important. It is huge because all I see when I look in society, unfortunately, is complacency. All I see is complacency. Why? Why does it gotta be like that? We should grab the bull by the horns, the metaphorical bull. I'm not gonna really grab a bull by the horns. Hopefully not. But guys, that's what it's all about. So how to find out what the next move is for you? This is something that we should be able to do. In this new internet age, some people find it difficult to find time to actually just sit there in quiet, peace and quiet. Sit there and think. Because all we want to do is pick up the screen here and look for the answer. That's all we want to do every single time. Let me ask Google. Let me ask ChatGPT what I should do next. When the answer is inside of you, all you have to do is just listen to yourself. There comes a time where you have to sit, turn off all the gadgets and all the electronics, and listen. Because the answers are actually within you. You've been on this planet for who knows how many years already. You weren't born yesterday, right? You've got a wealth of knowledge already inside of you. That's what it is. That's the main thing here. Let me take a drink of this water, okay? Just bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as sitting in quiet for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Put on some ambient music in the background and just relax. Maybe lay there with your eyes closed. Turn off the television with the yapping in the background. Turn off the podcast. Turn off all this stuff. Other people's words are doing nothing but getting into your subconscious mind and distracting you, even if it's helpful. There's a time and place for it, right? I had something in my eye, guys. Anyway, there's a time and a place for that. So there should also be a time and a place for your own mental meditation. I'm always playing with scissors or something. I don't know why. Defining the first steps to take. Once you're dedicated, and once you've meditated and you've taken notes on some of the things that you want to go after, don't take the notes on the screens and the electronics. Take your notes on an actual piece of paper. Because when you're up walking around, you can just pick up the notebook and look at it. You don't have to open your apps. You don't have to open your gadgets. It's there. Okay, so once you have your list compiled, you sit silently and you find out what it truly is that you want to do. What are the steps? What are some of the things that are going to take you there? And you're writing them down. Now, The next step would be to prioritize each one of those. Because ultimately, we want to get a little bit closer every single day. That's the main goal, to get a little bit closer every single day. So, how are we going to get a little bit closer every day? We're going to take some action, and we're going to be consistent. Consistent action. When you look at your list, you really got to figure out which items on that list are going to be more important to you. Which of those items are going to drive you toward what you want to do? And you got to put a certain amount of time into those items every day. Now, you don't need to see results right away. All you have to do is take some action and build on something. Remember, you're the CEO of your own life. When you are sitting there and contemplating, you're thinking like a business or a corporation. And a business does something called research and development when they're trying to grow. After you have meditated on your list and it came to you through the ether, now you're going to go into the research and development phase. This is what corporations do to maximize and to grow the business. That is probably the most important part. So you figure out what you want to do. Now you do a ton of research on it. This is how I operate. I do the research and then comes the development. So the research is kind of a passive active thing. You're actively looking. But then the real action comes with the development phase, which is the next phase. And this is where you're actually digging in. You're ordering materials, or you're making phone calls, you're networking, you're doing things, you're moving things around, you're making things happen. This is your chief executive officer time. Now you're putting on that CEO hat. You're taking off the artist hat, you put on the CEO hat. And then when you need to make more art, you take the CEO hat off and you put the artist hat on. Okay? And then sometimes you might need to take that hat off and put the owner hat on and act like you're the owner, because you are the owner. The owner of your dreams and your own life. So then you may want to take your owner hat off and put the CEO hat or the artist hat back on, depending on what you're trying to do. So you're basically wearing many hats, especially here in the beginning stages. And the last and final thing that I want to say is how to stay motivated. Motivation doesn't last long. Motivation can only last, sometimes it'll last for a couple hours. Inspiration, the same. Inspiration will last a few hours. Motivation will last a few hours. What you want to do is stay disciplined. The discipline will keep your motivations high. Because progress is what keeps your motivation high. There's all sorts of things that will keep your motivation high. So your motivation is nothing but a motive. Your motive is your reason for doing something. Let's get the exact definition. Motive definition.
As a noun, motive means a reason for doing something, especially one that is hidden or not obvious. Do you want to hear the next one?
A reason for doing something. When your reason for doing something starts to fade, and you're like, yeah, this is my reason. I really want to do it because of this. And you notice yourself kind of like giving up or wanting to just chill. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need a little break. That's fine. Take a little break. But your discipline gets you back up to do it again. You need rest. Your brain needs rest. Your body needs rest when you exercise. But you get back up and you do it again. And that's how you get better. So to stay motivated, that's all you have to do, is just know that you're going to be consistent. You're tired and you need a break. That's no problem. That's what humans do. They rest. You may need a rest. Usually when you feel like you're losing motivation, quote unquote, it's probably because you're tired and you need to rest. Or you may need to eat something healthy. Or maybe you need to exercise. Break up the monotony. That's all. And then you wake up the next day and feel motivated again. And one little tidbit here. Track your progress. Look back on how far have I come in the past 3 months, 6 months, a year. Last year, where was I to where I am now? Because sometimes we think about it and we're like, damn, I'm still not there. And you're coming from a place of lack when you're like that. You're sitting in the gap. Instead, you want to come from the gain. There's a book about this. I read it like a year ago. But instead of focusing on what you don't have or where you're not, focus on how far you've come so far. The Gap and the Gain by Dan Hardy, I believe. It's a pretty cool book. But ultimately, take it easy. Have you improved from last month is the only thing that matters. Have you improved a little bit from last week? And even better if you've improved a little bit from yesterday and the day before. So some days you may not improve, some weeks you may not improve. But overall, as long as you're consistent, the improvement will be there. Even though the improvement is slow, it doesn't matter, because consistency is the most important thing. All right? So just a few thoughts. Keep moving towards the next level, one notch at a time. Stay strong, stay positive, and we'll see you again.